I've written about this extensively because it's indicative of a much bigger problem. Zoom out so people can find it on their own. When did I put this up?
9 years ago.
9 years ago.
That's the employees of American Apparel demanding he be reinstated. Now, you go, what? I thought he his employees and he was the worst guy ever and he was driving the company in the ground
kill me.
and they
I
had
hate
to
seeing two
fire
Gavs.
him because of all the lawsuits. No, dummies, that's what you were told. What really happened was social justice warriors were used as pawns by corrupt corporate executives to create a whole myth, a whole cloud of confusion when they could then go behind the curtain and conduct their malfeasance unfettered. And this happens all the time. When you hear of some evil CEO, some evil founder, some disgusting pervert with sexual harassment suits or a racist past or a transphobe, what is really going on is someone higher up needs an excuse to get rid of a guy, and these dummies, these puppets, these liberal arts graduates are only too happy to grab the baton and run with it. And these journalists are so lazy that when they hear the whole story, they go, yeah, sounds good. I'm not going to look into it. So let's go back here. The narrative is that Dov was a filthy pervert that was bankrupting the company, and the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, John Luttrell, had to cut him loose because he was blowing all the money. And the final straw was a $250 million lawsuit from two employees, Kimbra Lowe and Irene Morales. Sorry, Dov, we got to let you go. Now, that's, first of all, a journalist would go, $250 million for a sexual harassment suit? That doesn't sound like a valid suit to me. I'm going to look into it. But they don't like it. They don't like the hard work. So they want the salacious story out the gate, so they run with it. And it gets on, I think it was USA Today, it gets on all the morning talk shows, and these women wear these prim little vests, and they say they were violated. So once they throw the gauntlet down, Dov releases pictures of the exact encounter where Kimbra Lowe was claiming she was, and you see her having a gay old time.
All right, so that's enough of that. You can look that up on your own. There's the whole story. But why don't we play the rest of the trailer, and then I have a little surprise for you.
These claims happened over and over again.
Now here's, stop. Stop. That Asian lawyer you just saw, she's privy to all this information. So she can see that Kimbra and Irene's case was blown out of the water because they were not reliable, because we see them being towards Dov. Yet she's like, I was mortified. And then in the documentary, they talk about how he had have them all sign a waiver that says, you can't sue me, you can only go into arbitration. That's because around 2010, all of these MeToo, pound MeToo, all this suing your boss was rampant. And it's because they changed the definition of it, and it just became sex I didn't enjoy.
Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
And hello, I am Gavin McInnes.
Together, we're Compound Censored.
And we'd like you to subscribe to our network that has more fantastic content you could shake a stick at. Use this promo code for a one-time super offer.
Do it. It's uncensored and oh so entertaining.
Or sex I'm now not happy about. So all these businessmen were getting sued after the girls came on to them. Now, I should say, advice. I've learned now that my coworkers were not as innocent as I thought, particularly one. I learned that from old Eddie Wang. But generally, everyone else's advice and Dov, we're just living in sexual times. Go ahead.
It's what the heart wants.
American Apparel was this iconic fireball.
Figure it out.
Things progressively got crazier and crazier.
I'll probably be in therapy until the day that I die. What are you gonna do?
So, I was outraged after I saw this, and I spoke to Dov earlier today. Let's just show Sally Rose Griffiths so you can see who's behind this. And it's not the white woman we showed you earlier who has 2 kids in college. It's this childless who, her background, I think she did a Bear Grylls thing and then a bunch of a documentary about abortion, and that's basically it. So you're invited, Sally Rose, to tell us what really happened without talking to anyone involved. But let's play. Can you play my conversation with Dov earlier?
Yes, I can.
Before our AC broke. And pepper it with B-roll.
Yep.
Why don't you kill me and make it small here with like American Apparel happening.
Do that. It's going to start out big and then I'll get it small.
So it doesn't start immediately at the beginning of the conversation. Yeah. And I was at the end there where they're talking about blowjob and the actresses are crying. I'm like, dude, I'm on his side. I said this to my entire family. I'm on his side. I know the whole story. This is fucking damning. Like, this is, I don't want to bum you out more than you already bumped out, but that is some of the most brutal footage I've ever seen. And if I was an outsider, I'd go, oh, he regularly women at his house.
Yeah, but it's manufactured. They're actresses.
Yeah, exactly. They say that, and then they say Dov Charney says he's innocent. When you put that as like a subtitle on a thing, it doesn't mean anything. No one takes that seriously. It's just like it's clearly a legal way to cover your ass.
Do you remember the piece you did?
Of course.
There was a video. How do we get that back? Where do we find that? Is it out? Or is it like archived?
It should be on Tacky Mag. Maybe I'll try to find it myself. You look up Tacky Mag, Steven Seagal. But, you know, they didn't mention that Irene was talking about being your ass slave, how she wants to lick your ass. And then the other, Kimbra Lowe, was like, he raped me. You have photos of the girls. All of the chicks you fucked.
they're all on your piece. You want me to send you your own stuff, or you have?
Yes, no, send it to me. Send it to me.
I'll send it to you right now.
I'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah, well, send me a link to the show. It's just ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. Like, they make up shit. This is the problem. That's why nobody trusts the left, because they rather manufacture the story that fits their narrative than search for the truth, you know?
Well, I'm also like, why are they fucking frying him so hard and not even talking to him or me or mention Vice? And then at the very end, it goes, Yeezy. And you realize, oh, that's what all this is about. This is because he's a Nazi. They have to fry everyone who goes near him. I get you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That was the big exclamation mark at the end of the hit piece sentence.
It was weird, though. I mean, why are they reenacting cases that weren't allegations that not only they were not proven, the cases were dismissed, or the case. I won the sexual harassment lawsuit against Irene Morales. I was not found liable for sexual harassment in connection to the Irene Morales case.
And Kimbra Lowe changed her name, if I recall. She was so embarrassed.
Yeah, she was embarrassed because she lied on fucking the Today Show. It's like, enough. These are girls that made fake claims. Okay. And
you know, another thing they didn't mention is the fucking monetary amount. They each wanted what, $250 million?
Yeah.
So that's half $1 billion lawsuit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The whole thing. I think it was Irene Morales wanted the 250. The other one probably was a number that was elevated in that way, but I'd have to check.
I was pretty sure they both wanted the same, but wow.
Yeah. Either way, they both wanted a very elevated. The 250 was ridiculous. The 250, and then she was found not. It was found that she was not sexually harassed after it went through a full cycled arbitration. You know, like, they don't have to reenact allegations is a joke.
Yeah, that is weird.
I've never seen it before.
Me neither, and it's very convincing. Like, you see that black girl crying. Meanwhile, it's an actress, and you're like, "Holy fuck!" My brain goes to guilty because I'm seeing a girl cry about a forced job. Meanwhile, I'm seeing an actress cry.
But it doesn't make any sense. How could they use an actress?
That's good.
It doesn't make any sense. Why didn't they get Irene Morales to do it herself?
Did they? Yeah, well, I'm sure Kimbra and Irene wouldn't talk to her. Did they try to contact you?
Yeah, but I knew it was a hit piece to start, so it's just a better joke that they did it this way. I could maneuver more intelligently. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just like it's just incredible. No, I knew they'd fuck it up. Now I have something to talk about that's intelligent, rather than participate and get nervous and defend it. I let them fuck up their shit. Now we have.
They didn't get into the story of the hostile takeover, which I know from personal experience what that feels like. It was the 48 Laws of Power guy who did that, who ousted you?
He was just along for the ride, despite the fact that he's an excellent writer and he's chronicled human behavior in his 48 Laws of Power. He just agreed with some of my, some of my opponents that were manipulating the company. What happened was, if you want to remember, the board ousted me. It was an illegal ousting. I did a hostile takeover to take the company over so I could, get myself back in. But then the hedge fund themselves took over. And the reason the hedge fund took over is because they had woke investors that were angry at them for supporting me. So rather than put me back in as agreed, they gave me the runaround with I have to hire a female CEO and all this bullshit. I got double-crossed twice, if you remember. It was a double cross.
Yeah, but didn't you give them some of your shares in exchange for money to expand, and then the agreement was that you were going to get them?
No, they gave them some of my shares so we could do a hostile takeover so I could retake control of the company for They were supposed to put me back in. I financed the takeover. It was successful, and then they kicked me out of the getaway car. There's nothing to do with expansion.
Yeah, see, that's a major part of the story that they just skipped over.
They don't know it because they're not intelligent enough. They're not strong enough. They're not strong enough to add it all up. They're not strong enough to even understand the sophistication of that story. And I have it all chronicled. If you want, I could just send you my notes from the time. Yeah. But it's a sophisticated story. I basically get illegally ousted. It's a proxy fraud. They say they support me. They support me thick and thin. I elect 3 board members in a scattered board, right? It's every 3 years there's an election of 3. The guys turn around and oust me within 10 minutes after the election. I wouldn't have elected them. It was a proxy fraud. What I should have done is upended the election, that it was illegal. The proxy said that the company and the board supported me as both the CEO and the chairman of the board. They then go ahead and oust me rather than going to court for 3 months and upending the election. I would have never elected these guys. I accidentally get together with this hedge fund to take control of the company at a rapid basis. Whereas we're successful, they never put me back in as promised. Once they gained control of the company, they put in some female superficial CEO, whom I picked out. She was supposed to be my proxy. They said, hire a woman CEO, but you control the company. But I started to lose trust in them. They let her take over the company anyway. She crashed it. That's simple. They threw me out. They fucked up the company.
It's kind of what happened with Vice. And the weird thing about the movie is they go, blah, blah, blah. He ran it into the ground. They ousted him, and then they went bankrupt. Well, isn't it weird that they went bankrupt after they ousted him? Don't you want to look at that for 1 second?
No, what really happened, once they took the flavor of Vice away, Vice became a PC operation, right? Right? It's the same thing with American Apparel. Once they took the Montreal Madman out of it, right, it became a PC operation and collapsed. The collapse of American Apparel was much more rapid than the collapse of Vice. You understand?
Yeah.
But it's the story of taking the personality, the honesty, the fucking cavalier man out of the company and thinking it's going to be okay. They removed the manhood. They tried to castrate the company, feminize it, and it crumbled within months.
That's the story. That's what they should have been talking about.
That's the real story. It's about, they tried to remove the masculinity of the company. With you as well. It's the same fucking story. The edge that you brought to Vice, which was what people craved, right? All the the like, what were the silly little sins? You know,
do's and
screaming
don'ts?
the N-word into the all of that shit.
Yeah.
Screaming the N-word into the pillow. That's what people loved.
Yeah.
That was people loved about the whole story, was that it was real. It was like, it was Brooklyn before Brooklyn became a operation.
Yeah.
You understand? And it was Montreal, it was New York City, it was artists, it was fucking, it was exciting. Girls want to fuck, men want to fuck, women want to fuck. Like, they made it, even if you have kids, you remember the good old days. It's like they tried to sanitize it, right? Remove the integrity and the honesty of it all. And they paid the price. They paid the price.
The same thing happened to Terry Richardson. He had the same kind of overt sexual lifestyle, and that became uncool when women took over. And all of a sudden, he went from like libidinous popular celebrity to sexual predator, and boom, he's canceled. That's right.
That's right. But I think it's quite a joke that I didn't want to watch this show yet, but it's quite a joke that they had to have models reenact this fake victim story.
It's propaganda. It almost brainwashed me. I mean, I'm sitting there watching this black girl cry, and I'm like, poor thing.
It's hilarious. It's actually a comedic bullshit story.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can start fake crying in front of everyone. I mean, what the fuck is this? And they say it's reenacted? What's the point of it? I don't get it. Who reenacts a story like that?
And they also go, he was really mean. He'd call me he'd say, I hate you. He'd call me, he's always on the phone. He'd call you at 4 a.m. You never slept. And you're watching going, yes, that is why it was successful. It was run by a ball buster workaholic. And when you got rid of him, it went bankrupt. Can't you see that?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And they just, it's, you know what? It's like, it's what Elon Musk said, they're removing masculinity from the work environment. It's true. I mean, I think it's tipped past. Trump got elected. Things got changed. The culture has shifted. But this is a throwback. Some British producer, you know, it's a throwback to the past. It's not the modern narrative.
Yeah, it is very,
I think they should.
It's very 2012, very 2010.
Yeah, it's 2011.
Yeah.
March. It's like, what is this shit? They were embracing allegations that were already disproven.
And then got a bunch of actresses to cry as they reenact them. It's crazy. I got to go. We're shooting the show right now.
Oh, yeah, I'll send you the stuff right away.
All right,
Do
thanks.
laugh. Okay, bye.
By the way, the screaming knots into a pillow. That was a very old Vice article, and I was talking about how it's a terrible word to say, but I understand you want to say it, so just go home, put your face in the pillow, and scream. No one else was saying shit like that back then. Very rude. Very funny. But I was watching, and I was like, what is the motive here? Besides the childless Sally Rose Griffiths and her March 2011 politics. And then the very end of the movie, they go, and what's he doing now? He's hooked up with someone new, and just says Yeezy. It's not his name anymore, but whatever. And it has Dov and Kanye. That's how the movie ends. Boom. Okay. And I talked to Dov when he started working with Ye, and I go, you know, he's not a big fan of the Jews, right? And Dov's like, I don't give a shit. He denies the Holocaust. It's an integral part of my culture and history, and I want to argue with him about it. My friends don't have to have the same beliefs as me. My friends can be wrong. My friends can deny history, and I'll have it out with them. It's called free speech. It's called an open and honest discussion.
So if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.